Somebody's shooting over here. Hell of people running. There he is, right there. That guy. He's the guy.
Charlie Kirk has been shot. He was in Utah giving a speech at a college. And unfortunately, I just found out that he's passed away. It is beyond tragic. It's disgusting. It's terrible. It's the worst thing that has happened in American media and politics in a long time. So this violence is not the answer. It is the very worst possible answer. We don't know who did it. And if some of you might have seen an older guy getting dragged away by the police, it turns out they released him. He's not the guy. So they haven't caught the guy yet, but I can't believe he passed away. I can't believe it. So he's gone. And violence is surrender. It's saying that you can't win in the battlefield of ideas. What a terrible, terrible message to send. And that you have to be barbaric, and you have to be violent, and you have to be a savage, and you have to just shut that person down physically because you can't defeat him with your ideas. What a cowardly form of surrender. What a disgusting thing to do. How deeply immoral. This is a terrible, terrible day. Because, so not only do I know Charlie, and you could say, hey, he said bad things in the past. Who cares? That's not the point today, okay? It doesn't matter what people said. You never do violence. Never. That's the exact opposite of being a progressive. It makes no sense at all. We're against violence. If you do violence, you're not one of us. You're disgusting, you're immoral, and you're deeply counterproductive. Anytime one side does violence, it makes everyone else hate them, rightfully so. So none of our side should ever do that.
Yes, before we proceed, the FBI director first sent this out. The subject for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie is now in custody. Thank you to the local and state authorities for your participation with the FBI. After about 1 hour, he sent this out. The subject in custody has been released after interrogations by law enforcement. Our investigation continues, and we will continue to release information in interest of transparency. What I don't understand is that this was out already. A lot of people were like, oh, everything is cool. Till now, as I'm talking, they have not seen that guy. I believe you saw the video at the beginning of this clip. It looks like that was the person running away, and this person captured, and that is a description of the dress the person was putting on.
But following up what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful action.
If I lie to you, I'm able to sleep, I'm lying. I'm just having a lot of things running through my brain when I saw this. A lot of people have been fired. If you've been following this channel, I put out a video about this lady and this man on Msnbc blaming him for what just happened. After a few hours, Msnbc released an apology. The release of apology, people were not impressed with what that man did. An hour after, I got information he has been fired. Not only him, a lot of people, even in that university, one lady is fired.
We're live streaming all day during this tragedy. When something happened in our office, as we were reporting the assassination of Charlie Kirk, there were some people in the back room away from our news desk here who were watching a car chase, and they were laughing, they were clapping, and you could hear it out here. And we want to make a couple of things clear. One is that I know these people, and they were not laughing, they were not reacting that way about Charlie Kirk's action. They were not. They would not work here if they did. And that being said, we acknowledge that it was horrible timing. And for that, we are sorry.
We apologize. We apologize that you had to hear that.
And I get why, if you were watching the stream, you may have felt that that's what the laughter was about. We assure you, it was not about that, but it was horrible timing. And by the way, I get it too, and he gets it, because we listened as we were talking. You can go back and look on the stream. I actually walked off camera to go back and find out what the hell was going on, because it was inappropriate for the laughter at that time. But no one was laughing about the Charlie Kirk tragedy.
Nevertheless, we apologize for the way it sounded.
Yes, you might be wondering why this apology is coming. It's as a result of a video Laura Loomer posted on X about these people laughing during that period. Not actually these two, there were people in the room. We were getting noise like they were laughing during that period. And instead of reactions on social media, people started reacting to that video. This is TMZ. So they had to do this video to clarify. It gets me upset because people glorify this. People take it as something that they really wanted to happen. It saddens my heart. No matter what, if you disagree with someone politically, this is not the way out. It should not happen.
Let's bring in NBC News Chief Justice and National Affairs correspondent Kelly O'Donnell. Kelly, we just saw this post just a bit ago. The subject that was in custody has been released. What do we know here?
Sorry, Gada, you caught me mid-communication with sources here, so bear with us. Yes, this is a stunning turn of events. This has been a day marked by confusion, and clearly there is a very wide-ranging investigation happening now, but this is not following what we might typically see. So let me take us back to what was happening at the time of the event. After the shooting itself, of course, law enforcement is scanning the scene, looking for information. There was one older man who was taken into custody by local authorities. We had done some work on him, and he is not suspected in the shooting. He was charged with an obstruction case. Then we learn from official sources of a suspect being detained and believed to be involved in the shooting. That's how it was depicted to us through various sources in law enforcement and government. And then, of course, we had on the record the governor of Utah saying there was a person of interest in custody. Kash Patel, the FBI director, using his social media to refer to an individual as a subject. Other officials, other sources of ours were saying that they had confidence that the individual being held was someone they thought would be, in fact, the suspected shooter. So not just a witness, not just a material person, those kinds of things. We're trying to figure all of that out. Now,
I am tired of hearing people say, like Barack Obama did, like Hillary Clinton did, oh, we condemn this violence. Guess what? You can't call the president of the United States for 10 years Adolf, and you can't say that he's a fascist dictator. And you can't say that anyone who voted for Trump or advocated for him, like you, me, Riley, and Charlie Kirk, are not.
But he put out a 4-minute video, and I'm not going to play the video. I don't want to play the video. But there was a line at the end that I think I just wanted to raise and read. At the end of this 4-minute video, he says, for years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. And obviously, there's a lot of rhetoric that is problematic. A lot of it is coming from one particular side and from one particular building. But what can be done? I fear when this is an escalation already.
What Trump said, he was straight to the point. He didn't blink. He didn't even mingle his word. For a very long time, Democrats are doing this. Even now, they are still doing it. When something like this happens, what do they expect? If you advocate for things like this every single day, if things are going like... We saw what happened to the president. Now, his supporters. It's insane. Where is this happening? At a certain point, if care is not taken, it might get worse. Yes. It happened the first time, they ignore. Even till today, we don't actually know what happened to the president. I want to appreciate people supporting me. Please share out the videos. This channel is suppressed, so videos don't hardly go out. I'm begging you, please share the video.
Pray. We can pray, God. Meant that he lowered the flags to half staff, ordered them lowered in the country, that Barack Obama, Joe Biden have